All right, so it says I'm live now. See, this is what it looks like right there.
Mine says
So it says I'm live. Hey, folks, we're downtown Denver for a vigil regarding the homeless. I just want to be really clear that that is the homeless vigil outside the city and county building here in downtown Denver, Colorado. There is a police officer's vehicle, Denver Police Department. They're at the McNichols building. There is a giant, this Bud department. They're at the McNichols building. There is a giant, this Bud's for You truck in the middle of the Civic Center Plaza. And there are two vehicles here, which we have located, three total combined officers, it looks like, hanging out, sitting in the park on this Wednesday pre-Thanksgiving day. Vehicle numbers are listed there, squad number, or plate numbers anyway. Vehicle numbers are listed there, squad number, or plate numbers anyway. I hope you can see them. Let's make sure that we get that. We go live for that. We go live for that right there. That's 899 RBS and 459 DQZ. And then we have this vehicle here pulling up behind us. But he's Denver Parks, a ranger. So he's of a different style and a different methodology. And we're going to walk up to this action. I know there's nobody following us live yet, but I was told to live stream this, and so that's what I'm going to do. We're going to get there, and we'll be solemn in remembrance of the things that are going on. We're running a little bit late, folks, but you don't want to show up on time for a planned protest, because if you keep the planning, then things go awry. It's a key thing. You have to know your surroundings. So you walk around the events early, see the police and the people who are there. I see this vigil. The real interesting thing about this vigil is that at the city and county building here in Denver, Colorado, there's mangers, Jesus, a homeless person born in the street. Crazy, isn't it? And we're going to see what's going on up here as we cross the street. That's Mama's laugh. We hear Janet. So the first thing we want to notice is that there's no sound here. Hi, it's the famous Janet Madsen. Karen Sudaro's in the background there. Is that? Oh, you got good chocolates, huh? That's Darren O'Connor and the beautiful Amanda. We got Jesse. I am live streaming. The council at large. Victor. Darren, can I? Oh, I gotta get in here. How you doing, man? I listened to somebody on something I was watching on PBS the other day, and I got a bachelor's degree and then went to law school. And
all downhill from there.
Shit I've been going through in the last week or so. Fuck.
What's happening?
Well, we watched a woman go through voir dire without being present to question the jury.
It was crazy. 75 days. People in wheelchairs. 2 days in a row, I got stopped at security, and they treated me like I was some kind of shit.
I have had the burden
You need to treat me
of
with
watching
respect, she says. I didn't even realize how
so
mean
many
she was.
human beings in this
And
city.
then the next day I go in there and she starts on me again.
And so tonight, I have no
Like,
shoes
just
on,
fucking
no
walking in.
socks.
Walking in.
because we as a people.
This is the woman that I
said we
ate my
are-
joints in front of. And I now carry my cannabis in that building,
All right.
show it to him, and walk
How y'all
out.
Start
feeling?
this shit again today.
Yeah, that's some noise! You're killing me with this chocolate. I'm gonna have two just because I want to walk away from it.
Time is up. There's a family here. I want them to come up. With the Richies, come on up. Are you here, Richies? Richies, come on up. Come on up. All right. So the Richies aren't here because their 1-year-old daughter has a cold. She's sleeping out on the street tonight. The Richies and their daughter, we ran up on them. We ran up on them. I'm not going off script. So there, another world is possible, right? Another
Right.
world is possible, right now. And on a quiet day, I can hear her breathe. If you don't know who's going to lead the world, I'll tell you. Her name is Anaya Ritchie. She's a 1-year-old daughter who is being escorted around these hard blocks tonight without a place to sleep. She's just 1-year-old tonight, and her mother and father have no place to sleep. Where's that's the nativity right there. Yeah, you all see it?
Hey, that was a homeless
20
person.
20 feet
Right up.
away from the story of this boy child named Jesus. Y'all know his name?
Yeah.
I heard of him before. Y'all know the story. No room at the inn. No room at the Samaritan house. No room at the rescue mission. And sure as hell, no room here.
It's closed. There ain't no room.
Folks, if Jesus were here tonight, we'd have to give him some blankets and some socks. He'd be arrested in the morning. In Denver, we worship a homeless man on Sunday, and on Monday, if he's on the streets, he's going to jail. And if he doesn't go to jail, he's going to have his ID taken, his photos of his daughter taken, his blanket taken. We might be incarcerating God as we speak. All right, Richies, come on up, y'all. Come on up, Richies. Come on up. I need you up here. I'm not out here for spectacle. This ain't funny. There are families, single families with children right here. Come on up, y'all. Come on up. Y'all, I'm gonna stop for 1 second. Brother man, tell me what's up.
You know, we've been here since yesterday. And so I seen these nice people stop and try to help us out. And so it is so good out here, but for this out here to be going on, I just, and so everybody needs some help. That needs some help. And so I'm pretty sure, there's more veterans out here. It's all types of people, it's elderly, disabled people, people who are dealing with diseases, and they're trying to get some rest. And so, I see that wrong. Like right now, I'm kind of afraid to go to sleep with my baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What you gonna do? Come tell me I gotta move? They will. And
They
so,
sure will.
Yes, sir, they will. I understand what's going on. Yeah, man. And so, whatever y'all got to do, man, and hey, man. Hey, that's all I know, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, y'all, give him a hand. All right, I'm wearing pride socks. I'm proud as hell of y'all. I am out here, pride. I'm not wearing socks tonight because until we are with each other, we are against each other. Until we know what it's like to be a human being in a world-class city without socks, we don't know what this city is really about. And so I want to sort of do a shout out tonight. I am personally proud of the veterans. Y'all give it up for the veterans here. Jerry Burton, a veteran who's sleeping outside. I am proud of the queer, transgender, folks that have no place to be that are here with us tonight, standing in solidarity. I am proud to have as close personal friends this man, Therese, Ben, Jesse, Jane. Y'all know who you are. Give it up. So, if you haven't been on the street, you don't know, but it is a system of care. We have Mama G, all the mamas and the papas. Give it up for the mamas and papas on the street. I'm proud of all you anarchist, black bloc brothers and sisters that are done with this shit.
Boycott!
We feel your suffering. We feel your suffering. Your suffering is not in vain. I want to say something. Y'all, you can get mad at me for saying this. I don't care. I am happy and proud of some of the Denver Police Department that want to create a safe pathway for human beings to protect and serve that are being held hostage by Michael Hancock. And so I want to thank the Denver Police Department for giving us this space in 24 hours and making sure it's safe for all of us. No.
Let's do this, PJ.
His name is Michael. Hey, Michael. Time's up.
Time's up.
Her name is Tammy Dorr,
Boo!
Business Partnership Director, and she is basically the front for all of these developers in town.
Yeah.
They have a lot of socks, y'all.
$20 socks too.
Elvis Brooks.
Albus. Candy C. DeBaca is in the house. If y'all give it up for our next city councilwoman, Candy C. DeBaca. In about 3 weeks, we will stand here again in vigil for at least 300 people who will have died from hypothermia,
Boo!
not having socks, who will have died from not having sleeping bags, who will have died because they cannot live in a tent. There will be 300 people, mark my words, whose lives and whose purpose we will never know. And so while I have been loud, I think it's time to be quiet. And so for the next minute, I just want all of us to take the time to breathe and to remember those who, the dead are dead, but we have to stand on their shoulders for those who are still alive. And so just for 1 minute, I want to bow our heads in a moment of silence for those we've lost unnecessarily. Namaste. Last thing I want to do. Denver is the only city in the country that has a citizen ballot to end this insane this camping ban. And so check it out. We need some money. We need some money. And I also want to send this family back to their home because we can't afford to have them on the street. And so the first $200 that is raised tonight is going to go to support this family so they can get out of our insane city. And so there are bags walking around. I know some of y'all are broke. I'm broke. They can take my car today, by the way, because I can't pay the bills. But if you could take a moment, I don't have, if it's a quarter, if it's $1, y'all with a brown pass, raise your hand if you have a bag. Raise your hand if you have a bag. The money that we're going to raise tonight is going to undergird this bill that, by the way, count on, and if you want to know who's going to raise the $5 million to counter this, her name is Tammy Dorr. And so now you know what the enemy is going to do. We need to raise at least $400 right now to support this. And so I'm going to take a minute. Y'all getting your, I don't see y'all reaching in your pocket. All right, reach in your pocket, reach in your pocket. This is for real, y'all. So please.
Where's those bags at? Right here, ma'am. Right here,
And
ma'am.
if you think it's a $10 bill and you got a 20, don't ask for change. There are human beings out here freezing to death.
Thank you.
So get that money.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming out. Therese, Margarita, all y'all. Thank y'all. Namaste.
Thank y'all, ladies and gentlemen, for your kindness and your showing your compassion toward the Richard family. If we can, we can't let a baby die out here on the street. No, that's not showing compassion. And we really appreciate it if you did, Gabe.
Glad you're out fighting
Next
as much
on
as
the,
we are, you know?
list to speak is why we are here. Why we are here. A citizen activist. I mean, what the sleeping bag is similar to Teresa from Demo Homes Out Loud.
No, they can't. Yeah.
Okay, hello. Hello.
Hello!
So I want to be brief because there's a lot of folks that need to share their voice tonight. What I want to make sure everybody knows is what's going on the streets right now. So for many years, the city has used measures of force and police to try to push homeless folks out of sight and out of mind. Right now, that is at a point of insanity. It is at a point where if you are for a second laying down somewhere near the rescue mission or the triangle with a sleeping bag, then you are told to move. You are told you cannot cover yourself with that blanket. Within seconds, there is cops parked at that area, multiple cops, 24/7 for the past 3.5 weeks. These sweeps have been insane over the past 4 weeks. So, but from October 29th until now, there has been non-stop police presence pushing folks to outskirts, to riversides, to any sort of hidden area around this city. And I just heard somebody call out that that is dangerous. That is exactly right. That is why we are here today, because that is dangerous. Pushing people away from their communities is dangerous. Pushing people out of their survival gear without their tents and sleeping bags is dangerous. The city tries to call these things the sweeps. The mayor tries to justify the sweeps as a health and safety measure. That is a lie, and we have to call out that lie because it is the exact opposite. The health and safety of folks on the street is put at far greater risk by pushing people to the far ends of the river, by taking people's survival gear. You'll hear about this from many more people today, but I want to make sure that we all, right here, right now, as we open up this space, know what's going on right on this, in this city, in intense measures over the past 4 weeks. The last thing I want to say is just to make sure that everybody knows that this is not just a rally for us to have our hearts put to the streets and our voices heard and our bodies seen. It is a rally that we get organized to fight for these rights immediately. There's some automatic demands. There's some immediate demands. We have sent a letter to the mayor, signed on by 14 different organizations, demanding 3 things. We'll talk more about that later, but in the sweeps, allow folks to not take people's survival gear and provide land. Those are 3 things the mayor could do at this very second. They're immediate actions, and we are demanding these change right now because this is out of
Please.
hand. So I
You're not
want
gonna
those,
really mess me up though, right?
with my words,
Okay.
so that we
Take a
have
turn, sir.
some real, some breadth of understanding of what's really going on.
Where did this come from?
At this very second, before we shift into hearing from a lot of folks in the streets and the folks who are going to step up into this building.
No.
And hopefully change.
Don't need all that.
Thank
We
you.
don't need all that at the house.
You know, I'm gonna move on to the next guest. It's kind of funny though, how things go around and, no matter where they move.
There's food.
I've been interrupted for 3 seconds.
Sorry, I forgot the other thing I was supposed to say. It's very important.
Is there anything left?
Yeah, there's more turkey.
Oh, wow. Turkey. That's what I'm talking about. So, folks, at this event, just so we can keep up with things, there's been a whole variety of food being provided. It's a family affair because families live on the streets, right, folks? I said it's a family affair because families live on the streets. It's kind of sad to think about, huh? Yeah.
The family just got a whole turkey and a whole full plate of turkey.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Yep, that's some darkness. No ham.
I'll take a piece, sir.
Mom, what? Is yours?
Thank you.
What? Oh, pardon us.
In the neighborhoods in 2014, and the community responded with an outcry. This was led by community leader like Candy.
Don't drink ink!
Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. As he said, the ink protest last year snowballed after fighting the I-70 expansion and the housing situation in Swansea into a political race against Albus Brooks for this district right here. So, I am a fifth generation Denverite. Our family has been in Colorado for 7 generations.
Therese,
I grew up
is there
in
room to
Swansea,
promote
one of
Sunday
the
morning's
poorest
breakfast?
neighborhoods in this city. It is not
It's
lost
so
on me
tolerant.
that we're
Just
here
mix an occupied Denver and I'll
on the
just
night
grab
before
it.
Thanksgiving, a night we celebrate because the natives of this land welcomed the pilgrims to their table to eat when they had nothing.
Mentioning
And in
eating.
return,
And
what
that
happened?
side over there is
What happened is what's happening here in this city right now.
I've got old turkey.
We built this city. We've welcomed people to this city for generations. And we are experiencing the same exact thing that capitalism continues to force us into. The exploitation always leads to this type of displacement. Every different iteration is a different scapegoat, a different group. At first, the Native Americans, then slaves, now poor people. And what are we going to do about it? Are we going to respond in a way that's different? Are we going to understand the truth about these processes and quit agreeing to believe that these processes are natural? These processes are engineered by policy
The pictures I
to
sent you?
keep the power
I didn't
in
get a
the
chance to look
hands
at them yet.
of
I
the
was on my way
dominant
here.
power structure.
I got new
To
video.
keep the money in the hands of the people who are profiting off
I got
of
4
our
discs.
exploitation. We need to pay attention
That one,
to who
okay.
we are electing to represent us in these buildings. When less than 15% of people show up to vote and decide on who goes in
When they
that
grab
building,
me?
They
we
called
have
me
a
yesterday.
problem because those 15% of people are not typically us. Those 15% of people are typically
I wanted to talk to
benefiting
you.
from the
now.
structure the way
I
it
know
is,
later.
or they're
So I
not
said I wanted
completely
to.
dissatisfied. We need to
We're
pay
working on this.
attention.
All right.
We need
All
to
right.
vote. People here do not have to have a home to vote. We do not have to have a home to participate in city council. We do not have to have a home to hold our elected representatives accountable.
That's right.
And so what I'm asking all of you tonight is to understand that our work is cut out for us and we cannot stop. We need the sleeping bags for tonight. We need the clothes for the next couple of weeks and the winter. But we need to stay active and participating in holding these people accountable, because the minute we give up, that's the minute we allow for the next wave of people to be on the street. And many of us who are here tonight and have a home, we are one paycheck or a bad circumstance away from being on the street ourselves.
Preach.
That is the city that's being built right now, if we don't do something about it. So I'm begging all of you to understand your power and step into it, and know that your labor can be used in service of you and not always in service of a dominant power structure. Your labor, your boots on the ground, your hard work can serve you if you wanted to. We just need to make a choice. Thank you.
Well said, well said.
Wow.
There's one thing, if you don't vote, guess what? The
Don't
one that
complain.
voting for you. All right, so please, even if you're homeless, you still can register to vote in the May 2019 election. And we're gonna need each and every last one of your vote, because trust me, Bid is really, really trying to get this ballot initiative not passed. All right, thank you. The next one on the list, Tony Pickford. He's a candidate for city council at large. He's a Denver native son, comes from 5 Point, Harlem of the West. 4th generation in the hood, right? All right.
Good evening. Although I wish we weren't here tonight, we didn't have this issue. It's a pleasure to be here with so many wonderful souls. My name is Tony Pickford. I'm a 4th generation Denverite, a 3rd generation product of Denver Public Schools. My parents raised me to treat everyone with dignity and respect, regardless of the background that they come from or the lens through which they see life. I was raised that I am you, and you are me.
Excuse me,
I
sir.
am you, and you are me.
Hey, would you like to hold your
I am,
sign
because we
behind
are.
them with them? We're getting people to hold the sign because it's a
I
good
have a real
backdrop for
issue
the.
Because what?
It's
with
a good
human rights
backdrop
being
for the
violated
camera.
on the streets of Denver each and
Yeah,
every
sick.
night.
I'll be right over there. Thank you.
I have a real issue with human beings, regardless of where they come from, regardless of circumstance, being treated with basic dignity. This is a human rights issue. The fact that we are here tonight talking about fighting for the right to survive instead of creating communities where people thrive is absolutely appalling. We need to take a comprehensive approach to this issue. We need to talk about housing and education and healthcare and transportation and food access and clean air and water if we're going to solve this crisis. A good start would be to treat people with human dignity and stop these awful sweeps. It's no solution. We have an opportunity, like so many people have mentioned, on May 7th of 2019 to get our city pointed in a more decent direction based on human dignity. I'm proud to carry this issue on the campaign. I will be doing everything that I can to elevate this homelessness issue for the next 25 weeks or so. And please exercise your right to vote May 7th. There are wonderful candidates running. There's an undercurrent of truly progressive energy in Denver that I'm proud to be a part of. And I look forward to representing you next year. Thank you, and have a great night.
Thank you, candidate, Councilman running for Councilman at large for district number. Oh, at large, my bad. I get out of the car. That's why I don't like politicians. Most politicians anyway. I don't want to get myself in trouble, especially the one in this administration, because they seem to get things. You know, get like the mayor. Get like he was trying to he forget things. I feel like that because a year ago today he said he wasn't gonna be taking nobody blanket in the wintertime.
Liar!
You tell me he went back on his word. I like to call that straight out live because he's doing it. But anyway, we're gonna move on to our next kid.
One more time. Liar, liar, pants up.
Hey, how's everybody? I'm Frederick Jackson. I've been here since the beginning of this, since it started about 3 years ago. Mainly, the main thing is you can't take nobody's stuff and tell them to move because somebody has to be able to sit down and go to work. If I can't put my blanket somewhere in my tent, how am I gonna go to work the next morning if I gotta watch the stuff? So it's been this circle. It's been this circle of red tape and of accusations. And the worst part is they wanted to blame homeless people for all the crime in town. They said homeless people are committing all the crime in town, and this is the reason we can do this, and this is the reason we're doing this. And that's not true. The other day, an officer came to wake us up, and I told him, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. This is the time where everybody's getting their stuff robbed. People are driving home. It's Friday night, and you're out here waking me up. It's impossible for a sleep man to commit crime. And the officer said, well, you're sleeping is the crime. And I said, okay. So then the next day, in the middle of the daytime, I ran up on the officer with my flashlight. And I flashed him his car because his tints are too dark. And I tell him his tints are too dark, and he has to exemplify the law. He gets out his car and says, I was just sitting here doing nothing, and you came flashing your light in my face. And I said, really? I was laying over there last night doing nothing, and you came flashing your light in my face. It don't make sense to nobody, so quit acting like it makes sense. You're only hurting yourself acting like it makes sense. Do 2 days in jail before you give them your blanket. Quit moving. Stop moving. We can't keep moving it because they telling us to move. Make them write a ticket. Make them write a ticket.
Clog the system. It does work.
Thank you, Fred, for that nice and let people knowing that there are people out there that are homeless that are really standing up. Next on the list is Jesse Perry, candidate for city at large, from the neighborhood, from the street as well. He also a member of Denver Homeless Out Loud. Been there since they founded the D. All right, so he's gonna come up and talk to you next. And thank y'all for being so patient and listening. And I hope y'all enjoyed the meal tonight.
Good evening, Denver.
Good evening.
My name is Jesse Paris. I'm your next city council at large 2019. I don't know about you, but I'm stoked for 2019. May 7, 2019, it's going down. So, with that being said, what brings us here tonight is very tragic and very unfortunate that our own city elected officials do not care about the plight of the people, the masses of the people. So what I say is we need to do away with the establishment candidates, and we need to put in the grassroots, the people that's been on the streets, the people that's not scared to talk to the homeless. I just came from front of the Samaritan House. It's very depressing when you have a rally for the homeless and they're not even able to attend the rally. I say enough is enough. We need to sweep council like they're sweeping the homeless every night. We got a whole squad running. I'm not the only one. We got a whole squad running. We need to vote these months out. They do not care about the suffering of the masses of our people in the city. This city is not affordable anymore. I'm a first generation native, but I've been here for 30 plus years. I know what the city needs, and I plan to do exactly that. And we can start by repealing the urban camper ban. This doesn't make any sense. This is 2018. Why do we still have ugly laws? Why do we still have sit-down laws? Why do we still have sundown town laws? Why do we have all these laws that criminalize people just because of who they are or what they look like. I'm beyond sick and tired of it. So if you're with me, give a hell yeah, and I say, sweet council, sweet justice for the people, justice for the poor, people over profits. Thank you.
You look familiar. You with the ISO?
What's that?
You with the ISO?
No.
Okay. I'm Brian.
Tim.
Nice to meet you.
Are you with the ISO?
No, I got friends who
You
are.
know, most of the time when I MC,
I'm an
you know,
occupier.
have fun,
Okay.
and, might be telling
That's something
jokes
to
and
be.
nobody
Yeah.
laugh.
I go to church every Sunday morning on the 16th Street Mall. Bring hot food, full of hotel pans, plates, silverware, no trash, right? Sustainable meals for show people how to do it right.
Nice. Nice.
We're outside the Denver Pavilions currently at the Corner Bakery, doing financial boycotts while educating tourists about the laws that in the business improvement district make everybody arrestable for sitting on the ground and doing anything. Why there's no water fountains for anybody, no toilets for anybody. So we're working on it.
Criminalization of poverty. I want to be very clear to everyone here tonight. We need to stop using the paradigm of the urban camping ban. It is a tool that they have used to make it soft for the people to eat and to feel good in their hearts. In all reality, this is the criminalization of poverty. And it can be one of you or me, a sickness, an accident, a divorce. It is possible. I've heard a lot of people who are angry. I am angry. I'm so angry that I cry sometimes. But where we have these feelings of anger and of sadness, we must go inside and we must lift ourselves with love and with hope. It is through love and hope that we will pass the right to survive. It is through love and hope that we will lift the civil rights of the people in this city, in this nation, and on this earth. And it is through love of the earth that we will restore this planet. If we continue along the path that we are on with anger and hate, we will only be met with anger and money and hate. I ask you all today to have pride for your convictions, to love your brothers and sisters, to care for your friends, and to actually spend some time to get to know a stranger. Because a stranger may help you someday. Thank you.
Well said again. Well said. Everybody is speaking very well. Next, we got a call from the street, and his name is Damon Roybal, and he's running for the Sun Valley District, which is District 3. Thank you.
How's everybody tonight?
Yeah!
Shouts out to everybody coming here. Just all the homeless people who were able to make it. But yeah, last year for Christmas Eve, I was coming home from work, and I found a brother at the bus stop right there by King Soopers, almost frozen to death. There was a light rail security guard. I went up to the dude, took my gloves off. Light rail security guard told me not to touch him. We have so much homeless veterans that are out there suffering and need a place to live. But we need to give them the resources and let the people know that we have candidates that are fighting for them on their behalf. And we also have another candidate, Veronica Varela for District 3. And vote for those that care about you, want to find a solution to this madness. Because you already see they don't have the best peoples at heart. They want to protect the city budget more than the Constitution that they swore an oath to. And it's time to get rid of them. And they're already making $91,000 a year for what? 105 for at large? No, we don't need that. We need a government by the people, for the people, led for the people. Because we are suffering out here in the streets. Tonight, there's going to be people freezing. And we just keep a prayer, just keep praying for those families. And the families that are to the homeless shelter and everybody. And pray for those. Roybal for City Hall, District 3.
Thank you. What we're going to do now, we're going to do another call from the street. And as I walk down here, like I come down, I got to take the time because I'm not sure this going to reach. But I know there's a lot of veterans out here that living on the street like I once was. We took an oath, and the oath goes like this. I solemnly do swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And right now, we have a domestic enemy right here. And we got to take back our U.S. Constitution because as much as you lose it,
the harder it will be to get back. And once you lose it, they're not going to give it back to us. And Liz is going to speak from the street.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mama Liz, Mary Elizabeth, but everybody calls me Mama Liz out here. As you can see, I'm female. I'm handicapped in a wheelchair. I've been slipped down, up and down these streets and different so many times it's not even funny. Told to get up and move along in the middle of the night and it's freezing cold. Nowhere to go. Just like to say that my husband on my side that we actually have no place to sleep tonight. So if anybody has a room for us,
Thank you, Liz. See, homeless people are no different than house people. That's the number one thing that you got to understand. We hurt, we feel, we eat, you sleep, we need sleep. Everybody needs sleep. This is what's going on right now is something that we would do in wartime. Keep waking up the enemy, depriving them of sleep. They do the same to us, and then all of a sudden you can't think. You start doing crazy things. You deprive and you're tired, and you just want to lay down and just die. Trust me, I know that feeling. I have lived that feeling, not only on the street, but also training. That's why we train so much in the military, so that we can think on less sleep. But these people out here on the street right now, they're not trained without the training. And I feel so sorry and compassionate for them, but I feel more sorry for the city for allowing this shit to get this way. So the next one, Mike, is, let me get back to my paper. Is it cool here? Okay. All right. Is Jason Flores here? Jason Flores, is he here? No? Huh? Oh, well then, the lawsuit we filed back in 2016, if I remember, August. The lawsuit is about giving back our right, stop taking away our U.S. constitutional right that everyone that is born in the United States are endowed with. The 4th and the 8th and the 14th due process of law, the right to live, it's guaranteed in the U.S. Constitution where it says we all have a right to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And what they're doing right now, they're not trying to let you live your life. They're not trying to let you have your liberties. They are definitely not letting you to pursue happiness. So that's what the lawsuit is about. We'll go to court on that March, possibly. We'll go to court March the 26th. March 19th to March the 29th, if I'm correctly. But more as we get closer to next year, more of that information will be coming out. So please show up and give us y'all support. Next, it will be Jessica Lewin. Did I say that right? Boy, I'm telling you, boy, I get smart at night. You know that?
So when I go up on stage, you're going to have to come up a little closer, huh?
All right.
Just saying. We'll just, oh yeah, here, you want some of this too? It's got whiskey.
Thank you all for being here tonight. It means a lot. I know tomorrow's a busy day for a lot of us. I witnessed something this week that I have never seen before. And I was part of the sweeps that were going on. And I'm helping people fold up tents really, really quickly and in tarps. And they're drawing the tape. And we're crossing the street as they're putting up more tape. And I have pictures of this poor girl with her dog standing in the middle of the road with her tarp and her tent and her dog. Where do I go? Where do I go? There's tape on both sides. I don't know where I go. Either side, I'm kind of screwing myself. And it awoken something in me that I haven't felt in many, many years. And that is enough is enough. We are done with this. We need to have a voice. We live in a state that camping is a reality. We camp. We know how this looks. We need to have camping designated in the city and county of Denver. We need to have campsites for people to go. So we don't have that question mark. As a provider and as a police officer that are out there, we all looked at each other like, well, damn, we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. Where do we go? We don't have a solution to where people need to go. And my feeling on that is if we had a place for people to go, they would go. These people are camping in front of a huge field in the Rhino that have huge high rises going up. But we have a question mark on where you can go and camp safely when there is 2 acres of property that they could go camp on and be safe. This is no longer something that we need to have conversations about. I'm tired of sitting around these meetings of how Seattle and Portland and Austin, Texas are doing great tent cities and it's working. Denver needs to have a tent city. We can do this, and we can make this a dignified solution to a very ugly problem. And I'm sorry that so many of my friends and my neighbors and my amazing human beings I know are sleeping on the streets tonight. That is no longer okay. Let's have a voice. Let's tell the people that work in this building that it's not okay. Let's
Time's up!
All right. Well, on the way. The way we can do that, you know, in basketball, football, and baseball, when they playing the best four win out of 7.
Thank you.
That's what we got to do. We got to win 4 games. We got to win 4 games and sweep this. And we can do it come May 2019. Next on the list, I believe, is a lady by the name of Amanda. Amanda. Oh, Amanda? Oh, my bad. No way. I just got down my night. Amanda. Who? M-A-N-D-Y. Depending on how you want to spell it. Is that, who that? What, is she here? Okay. All right. Next on the list is, girl, you like to miss your 5 seconds of fame? Where's she at? Come on. You want to come down there to you? I'll come down to you. I guess you doesn't want to walk up the step. I know you love me, but you can say something.
What am I supposed to say? Tell them about life. How you got a house now.
How you got a house now and all that. You know,
yeah,
that's good news.
Reality, how change is going
Because
on.
if they don't hear that some people are coming up out here, but slowly.
The only reason I have a house now is because that people like you care about us people on the street, and people push stuff through and made stuff happen and made me a great support system. And that's what's needed. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for the support that you give all of us. And everyone, I was so amazed when I got here to see so many incredible people and so many people that have changed my life and made things happen for not just me, but countless others. Thank you all so much. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
See, if you tell me her name, you gonna say something. All right. Anyway, next on the list is a guy by the name, and I don't know his last name. I know he's gonna talk about occupy something.
Oh, that's me.
Bryant. I'm sorry, I don't know much about you, but you can get to know. You ain't lying about that.
So my name is Brian Loma. We'll put it on the public record now. I'm a member of Occupy Denver. I'm a latecomer to this community, meaning I didn't camp in these parts with many of the community that did, but I'm in the streets right now on Sundays primarily because of a woman that we all love and adore who started a kitchen so many years ago and keeps feeding people. Right now, if you're not going to church or sleeping off a hangover or going out into the mountains on Sunday mornings, we want to encourage you to bring a crock pot, a rice cooker, a package of something, whatever. Maybe you cook some leftovers or some excess food that's in your kitchen. Bring it down to the 16th Street Mall. Every Sunday morning, right now, we are meeting outside of the Denver Pavilions, focusing on businesses like the Corner Bakery, a national franchise that was an original member of the Downtown Denver Partnership. We have to remember that it's the businesses that are doing really well due to tourism in our states, right? These businesses push the laws that have set trends across our beautiful state. So as city after city creates laws like no sit and rest ordinances, no camping bans, as we call them, we have to remember that in this space here, wasn't that long ago, maybe almost 100 years during the Dust Bowl era, where this space was full of people camping. It was full of people who went to the bathroom and ate food and got jobs in this space right here. This is where camping used to occur during the Dust Bowl. Check your history, folks. These are the things that used to happen here. And now as we prosecute people where they need to sleep, we still have to give them nutritious food. And we need to tell businesses that they have a responsibility to the community. If you're going to take up space and you're going to make millions of dollars on the booming economy, then let's put a piece of that aside for land for people to live. Let's boycott the businesses that won't support that. When a business owner says, my own employees are one paycheck away because of an accident or an illness from being homeless, but they refuse to recognize that the law that they support puts their own employees at risk of being jailed. And we don't even want to talk about what it's like to go through the court system right now.
No fun.
You have to pay for discovery to prove that you're innocent. You have to cough up money for the evidence against you. You have to pay for a jury. You have to pay fees just because you were arrested. Well, actually, wait, we got those removed recently, right? There's a lot of things that are done by citizens' efforts. So whether you're able to show up on a Sunday morning, whether you're going out and walking the streets any night of the week, videotaping police actions, videotaping the sweeps, whether you're educating businesses or you're educating the consumers, whether you're showing up at court and doing court support and watching. Do you know how many homeless people show up to the courthouse and they're not allowed in the building because all of their possessions are on them, and they either have to leave it outside to be stolen or leave the property, so they'll end up arrested because they have a warrant out because they won't show up to the judge. These are the realities of our community today, folks. So it's not just about showing up on the night before Thanksgiving, a day that celebrates the genocide and murder of people who didn't have the same culture as the people who are making the rules. So thank you all for being here. Again, show up. I'm rambling. So show up Sunday mornings, 9:30. Bring some food, bring some clothes. If you're an employer, bring some job interviews, because we hire people on the streets. We give people an opportunity to hand up, right? I got a lot to say, but I'm going to let it go for now.
Thank you very much. Thank you. There's something, I got one quick announcement real quick. The after party is at Nob Hill. If you don't know where that's at, it's right off the street, off of Colfax and Pearl, right across the street from McDonald's. Well, talk to BJ about that. But anyway, if you want to join us up there, you're more than welcome. After this. And we almost just about done, ladies and gentlemen. What we're finna have now is a debate when as many sweeps have been going on the down around the triangle. We put together DeHo put together a letter and sent it to the mayor, and Scylla is coming up to read it. And then after that, we only got one more portion. All right, thank you.
Hey everyone, Before I read the letter, I want to do a quick introduction. I'm Sarah Slow Wolf, transgender woman. I lived and survived out on these streets. If it weren't for two people right in front of me, Mama Liz, Papa Roy, if it weren't for them, I probably would have been dead within a year and a half, within the time that it took me to get housed in the beloved community tiny home village. I'm going to read this letter now. Mayor Hancock and City Council, we the undersigned organizations call on the City of Denver to immediately act to protect the rights, dignity, and survival of people without housing in Denver with the following immediate steps. Stop the sweeps. Stop taking people's blankets and property. Provide land and legal variance for tent dwelling for people without homes. The past 4 weeks of police sweeps across the city of Denver, directed by you, Mayor Hancock, can be stopped just as easily as they were started, simply by the direction of the mayor. You! We ask you to hear the cry from the streets calling for these move-along orders to stop, cease, and desist. 2 years ago, at this very time of year, after seeing video of police taking a homeless person's blankets, you directed police to not take blankets from homeless people in the winter. This direction points to a recognition that blankets and other gear are a matter of survival for homeless people, especially in the winter. Despite this directive, police and city employees continue to take blankets and survival gear from homeless people this winter. That happened to me last couple winters ago. We demand your 2016 promise be upheld and blankets and survival gear not be taken from homeless people. The city of Denver owns plots of land throughout the city that are currently sitting vacant, while the city is chasing homeless people around and out of every visible square inch. We demand the public assets be used for the public good, and accordingly that the city designate at least one vacant plot where homeless people can find rest and safety in tents, vehicles, or the like right now this winter. Until there is actual, attainable, low-income housing enough to meet the need of the thousands of people, with numbers growing each and every day, who can't afford Denver's rents. People will be living on the streets of Denver. Shelters are not an option for hundreds of people. The city must hear the cry of people without housing and let people cover themselves from the winter weather and be seen. Sincerely, Denver Homeless Out Loud, Interfaith Alliance of Colorado, Colorado Cross Disability Coalition, 9 to 5 Colorado, Buck Foundation, Atlantis Community, Adapt, Project Voice, Colorado Stands, Coloradans for Progressive Action, Colorado Village Collaborative, Shiva Mandir Humanitarian Outreach, and the ACLU of Colorado.
All right, this is the last part, I think. Let me read my paper. I can't see well at night. Well, anyway, we are down to, we are about to, the right to survive in May. Demand our survival right now this winter. Teresa, come on up again, please. Stop the sweep. Stop taking people blankets and property. provide land and legal vagrancy for tents dwelling for people without homes. To the people,
What you just said.
vote for the right to survive in May. Now, we're going to, oh, wow. This is what I said? Oh, we're going to, which y'all, we'll say it 3 times. We'll say, stop the, we're about to chant, but 3 times we're going to say, stop the sweep. All right? All right? Ready? Stop the sweep.
Homeless rights are human rights. Homeless rights are human rights. Homeless rights are human rights.
My bad, man. I'm getting sleepy. What do we want? Rights, dignity, and space. What do we want? Rights, dignity, and space. Now, I'm gonna say what do we want? Y'all say right, dignity, and space. What do we want?
Rights, dignity, and space.
What do we want?
Rights, dignity, and space.
What do we want?
Rights, dignity, and space.
Oh, y'all did that very well. Y'all learned quick. Next is, what do we want? Sleep. Sleep. Oh, wait a minute.
No!
You got it.
Whenever I want it.
What do we want?
Sleep!
When do we want it?
No!
What do we want?
Sleep!
When do we want it?
No!
What do we want?
Sleep!
When do we want it?
No!
And for Mayor Hancock,
Time's up!
the last time you will see this office will be in May 19th, but your ass be voted out. All right, Always Brook as well. Also, all the other ones that have voted against us, we are going to try to get many of them out, and we're going for a clean sweep. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Once again, thank Margarita and Joyce Kitchen and somebody else. Kathy Stanley, thank y'all for preparing the food and bringing it out, coming out serving it. Thank y'all the speakers that came up and speak tonight. We really appreciate it. Just remember, it don't stop here. It's just the beginning again. It doesn't stop here. It's just the beginning.